What's up, yo? I learned my lesson from last video. Last video was pretty terrible quality. I didn't want to delete it though, just because I feel like it's part of the journey. Something I learned. Maybe you guys learned from it too. Do not zoom out when you're trying to record. I put it to like 0.7 instead of just regular, just one, zoom magnification. And yeah, my quality of my video went down like terribly. So I was like, damn. But the video was really good, the value and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what, I'll leave it inside. If anyone really is called to be there, they'll listen to it, But anyway, wanted to get in today's video. I've recently, I didn't create my own. I'm not gonna say I'm not a creator. I've kind of just been given this in a way. I've been reading a lot of books lately, following a lot of people. 3 people. It's David Hawkins, Joe Dispenza, Neville Goddard. And I'm a kind of split them, okay? So David Hawkins is going to be over here, Neville Goddard and Joe Dispenza is going to be over here. Neville Goddard and Joe Dispenza, they talk about just more about believing and assuming that the things you want, your desires, you already have right now, and you sort of just surrender it. In a way, you don't surrender it, honestly. You kind of just keep believing and instilling in your mind that you're already at where you want to be at, right? But what I kind of realized is like when I would say like, yeah, I am a coach, I do have people in my community, or people always like I have thousands of followers, etc. like that, it would create an attachment to an outcome. But what Hawkins talks about is you can have those desires, that's fine, but just surrender those desires and surrender and be open to what God has for you, knowing that whatever God has for you is the best, because He's infinite, He's all-knowing, He's whole, He's one. He already has your perfect story written down. So you can mix the two by assuming that you are already that person that God has set you here to be, and continually surrendering all those negative emotions, those clouds, those things I've been talking about these last previous videos, and just be open to what God has for you. Be open to form and align with God's will, God's plan and vision for who He wants you to be. And that's ultimately the formula, Little cut, I was just recording my video, but I had this little thought. I want you guys to stick to the end of the video. I'm not here trying to like say yada yada yada. It really will help you, it really will benefit you. So if you made it this far, just stick to the end of the video. You can transform your life and ultimately make your life much more peaceful. I have a special message for you guys at the end, so if you are interested in that, be sure to say. But yeah, God bless. You continually assume you want to meditate. I haven't really touched upon how to meditate correctly because, well, I haven't really touched upon it. So you want to close your eyes, then you want to sit up straight, make sure you have a good foundation. I don't try laying down because whenever I lay down, I usually fall asleep. So try sitting up if you can. If you need like a little back support, get a little chair, but always try sitting up. And then breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. You want to set an intention before you get into your meditation. So if you want to get rid of emotions, you want to surrender, you want to instill to yourself that you are this new person, have an intention, okay? And even if it's just being still, being one but yourself and enjoying the silence, that's also an intention. So set your intention, put your focus on that, and let God guide you. The more and more reps you get into this, the better it is. And you want to treat your mind like a muscle. Same way you go to the gym and work out your biceps, work out your quads, work out your chest. You gotta work out your mind. You gotta put reps in. You gotta put minutes into meditation, so you can ultimately visualize better. You can meditate. You can focus a lot better. You can get connected with God a lot easier and better. So you can surrender. You can be still and not overthink, live in your head. That's honestly the biggest benefit I've been able to get, is not living in my head anymore. I get to just get in meditation, surrender it, and just be still, be present, and enjoy what I have around me. Just like little yellow flowers over there. And every time I look at them, I just smile because it's like so beautiful, So yeah, I hope that makes some sense. Meditations have truly changed my life, and while I'm meditating, visualization is also very key. So I like doing this practice. You can take like my little case for a microphone, right? Put it right there. Take a good look around everything and close your eyes and try descripting everything around it, whether it's this bench with the wood, colors right here, the case, the trees, the bench over there, my camera, the pond behind me, and just try visualizing it and seeing inside your head. The more and more reps you get it, the more and more reps you do, the more reps you get, the better you get, obviously. It's pretty simple. But yeah, recently I've been talking about revealing who you need to become. You know, just continually surrendering these negative emotions and then replacing those negative emotions with the opposite, the positive ones. So if you're once insecure, you replace it with security. If you're once prideful, you replace it with love, etc. And yeah, you want to get sort of clear on that. You want to just continually have at least a goal, an aim. And honestly, the best thing you could look for is how can you represent Jesus the best? He's humble, he's loving, his love is unconditional, he's gracious, all those things. You know, get those characteristics down. If you really have no idea what to look for in yourself, just look what Jesus is to you. And yeah, I think that's a good representation of who you can strive to be. And the more and more you'll get used to, okay, well, how come Jesus is so humble, but I'm not? And then you start to unravel that and let it go and surrender and then form back to what God has for you. So I like to look at it like that, because I used to have the same question. Like, okay, well, what is the best version of me, right? And now let's tie your desires inside, right? Let's say you do want to live a luxurious life. Or maybe you don't even want to live a luxurious life. You just want to be financially free and be free. Travel around the world with your family. Let go of those attachments. Be okay if it doesn't happen. It's ultimately how you manifest, in a sense. Let me explain why. Once you let go of the desire behind those goals that you want, it's not I lack this, or it's not I need this in order to feel something. You're okay with not having it because you already feel that peace, that pleasure within you already. So let's say you believe traveling around with your family will bring you peace, will bring you comfort, will bring you just overall love and maybe even respect. You can feel those emotions now and let go of having to experience the traveling. Because then, once you're able to feel those emotions, it'll attract into your life. And I know it kind of sounds like counterintuitive, but I promise you that's how you truly manifest without creating attachments, without creating if it doesn't happen, then I can't trust God. Or how can I be sure I get this while surrendering everything to God? It's how you do it. You surrender everything to God, and whether or not you get what you want, you're okay, because whenever you do want something, your desires, you got to realize that you're chasing emotions, okay? That literally anything. You could be like, I want to go experience the Grand Canyon, right? And you can be all wowed and fond, and that's like one of your biggest dreams. But you can feel those experiences now, which I know kind of sounds weird. You can obviously visualize it. You can even look at pictures, or you can just take a look at what you have around you and just be in such awe around you. And so you'll just feel that fulfillment. You'll feel that joy. You'll feel that pleasure. And you don't have to go do something, experience something in order to feel something. You already have it within. And that's ultimately how you surrender everything. Because then it's now, God, I don't need this anymore. I have you within me, which he's whole, he's everything around us. And you don't need to experience anything. It's just whatever God gives you, it's what's best. And that's how I live. I really do. Of course, don't get me wrong. That ego inside of us, that old patterns, all those stories where it's like, well, I do want to be free. I do want to travel the world, da-da-da-da. Just know that he'll take care of you. And I'm talking to myself at this point, because I do have those thoughts where I'm like, but if I surrender everything, how can I be sure I will travel around the world? I will provide for my parents and this and that. Oh, that's what it was. It just popped in my head. Look at that, a download. You're not necessarily letting go of the desires. You're just working from it. So you're working like as if you already have it. So you'll operate as that person who does take care of his family, who does travel around the world. And what that person does, he acts abundantly. He knows he's abundant. He makes smart choices. He's focused when he works. He's not honest. Like all those good characteristics. So instead of being down here and wanting to be up here, you can let this go and be up here and just stay there. And I will attract what I want, okay? And it'll be a lot easier. It'll be a lot more of a flow. It'll be a lot coming from power. And that's how you do it. And that kind of just gave me clarification of how I can do it myself. Because yes, lately I have been getting caught up on, I want these things, but what if it doesn't happen, yada, yada, yada. That's, again, working from a guy who doesn't believe he has it yet. So I myself have to transform and continue to meditate and instill into my subconscious that I am that person now. So regardless of what I see externally, I believe and know that these things is true, that I'm already meant to be this person. I'm just revealing who I'm meant to be, and the external will slowly reflect who I'm showing inside. Guys, I think this is probably, I'm probably gonna watch this video over. You know, I'm gonna look to this guy and be like, yo, this guy's smart. How do you do it? It makes sense for me because I've been reading books, I've been watching videos, I've been experiencing this, I've been testing this, testing that. So ask me questions. You can DM me on Instagram. I'll leave my link down below in the description. If not, you can find it in my bio. Just search up Day Day Talks. This makes a lot of sense to me. It may not make too much sense to you, but I hope you can unravel what I'm trying to tell you, because this thing really is powerful. You can implement both Dispenza and Goddard's way with Hawkins' way. And I like to lean more towards Hawkins' way just because I truly feel like that's what I'm most called to do. That's what I feel most aligned to. It's more just God. It literally is just let go and let God. That's like his whole entire saying, pretty much. Well, that I kind of push towards him. I don't know if he actually says that. And yeah, that's how you can ultimately win. That's like the formula to win in life. You know, and you'll move around with much more peace. You won't be in your head anymore thinking about, oh, it's gonna happen, or is it really truly gonna happen? It's more of just a knowingness. It's having faith. It's having that trust. And since you don't have any more attachment, since you don't need anything anymore to feel something inside, you're not in your mind anymore thinking, how is this gonna happen? How is this gonna play out? All right, well, that video was only 12 minutes, so I have a little bit more time to yap. Hopefully this is centered. All right, cool. Yeah, I think that's the best way I can get straight to you guys, though, that I know you feel those attachments inside of you. You feel those thoughts of doubt, of you need this in order to feel something, or you need to accomplish this in order for you to feel security, right, or whatever. And that's the whole illusion. You know, we don't need anything in order to feel something. We have God within us. You want to believe the Holy Spirit, you want to believe Jesus Christ, you want to believe God, whatever you want to believe in, it's inside of us. The infinite intelligent, the whole, the one, all you know what I'm trying to say. And so there's nothing else you need to experience. There's nothing else you need to feel good, because it's all within you. And I know this might be like, well, how can I feel the experience of sitting in a Lambo, or how can I feel the experience of getting my mom and dad $10,000? Trust me, I had the same exact thing. But like I said before, if you feel those feelings now, you don't need it to happen. You let go of it. You surrender it. It ultimately, it's kind of like law. It comes back to you. You know, it's like you attract it. There's this thing called the boy-girl theory. I actually read this on a book. I'm not making this up. Once a boy starts chasing a girl, the girl doesn't want him. But once the boy doesn't want the girl anymore, or just doesn't show too much, doesn't try, doesn't chase, the girl comes back. And it's kind of the same thing with your goals. It's kind of the same thing with your desires. Once you stop putting on a pedestal saying you need it in order for you to feel something, you can just stop giving it attention, knowing that you have everything within. And now it's like, oh, I can come to you now because you're pretty cool now, you know? And that's how it works. Not with the boy-girl stuff. I'm not a relationship advice giver. I'm just a spiritual giver, so you can take that how you want it. Yeah, just let go of that attachment towards your goals. And the more you let go of it, the easier it will come to you. The more you operate like that person who's already at where your goals are at, the more you assume, it just amplifies everything 10 times more. The more you can visualize, the more you can just say, yes, I am abundant, and you act like that person every single day, easier it gets. And now, don't get me wrong, guys, I'm teaching all these things, I'm saying all these things, but yes, it's a test. It's pretty tough. It's not always going to be a flow. You know, you're gonna have to reprogram the subconscious mind. I don't know why I said it like that. You have to reprogram your subconscious mind. You have to reprogram your old stories. You have to truly push this ego aside and saying, God is my source, nothing else is. And that's how you'll ultimately get closer. You know, the more you surrender, the easier it will get. The less energy you give to your old stories, the easier it will get. Life, you can live life on easy mode. I might just title this video that, honestly. So yeah, hopefully this video helped. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Again, Instagram's gonna be in the link down below. If I didn't clarify anything, sorry. Again, ask questions. But I want to give you guys a view of what's going on. You didn't hear that. Look at this, boys and girls. Wow. Yeah, usually I record over there as well. Oh, someone's coming. And I also record over there. Guys, I have opened up a community. I have about 9 people in there. Getting ready to be on track to start having 2 calls per week. I have content in there going over everything I go over in the YouTube videos, just a lot more concise. And of course, the 2 calls I have are either going to be master classes or Q&As, so you guys can personally ask me questions and get feedback from everyone else who has their own questions. And it's ultimately a way to reveal who you're truly meant to be. That's my whole theme of this community. I want to help you guys reveal who you're meant to be. I feel like most people who are watching this video are called by God in some way, shape, or form. And they just need that extra push, that extra nudge to truly become who they want to become. Or who they know they need to become, who God already sees them as, but they just don't see themselves like that. Because again, everything I'm speaking of, saying, yeah, you guys, I've experienced this. I was once the person who was full of doubt, full of how can I surrender to God? How can I have my goals and God at the same time? But I'm here to help you guys out. So if you guys want to join that, feel free to DM me, comment down below, whatever you want to do. Yeah, God bless. Hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll catch you on the next one.